Okay, tonight I'm going to share with you what I carry in my Rhino. The idea didn't pop in my head, it was planted there by one of the guys viewing my YouTube channel. So I would start with a basic philosophy of I want to do everything I can to make sure that I get home at night and I don't have to spend the night in the bush. So you'll see a combination of stuff that I carry to make sure that I can deliver that for myself, and get home. And on the off chance that I can't get home, I have preparations to make sure that my night in the bush will be somewhat okay. Start off with, I carry a spare chainsaw bar. I have on occasion bent one. And I also carry a kit for repairing any electrical problems. As you can see, I've got fuses in there, tape, tie wraps, butt end connectors to connect wires, reconnect wires, rewire them, that kind of thing. And on the other side, I have alligator clips, testers, strippers, screwdrivers, everything that I'm going to need, as well as a little bit of wire. A couple weeks ago I had to use this kit. Been carrying it for a few years and finally I had to use it. My thermostatic fan had quit and my Rhino was overheating. So after pulling out my kit, I had the main fan rewired to a switch on my dash, and I was able to just turn the fan on constantly or turn it off whenever I wanted. Without that, I would not have been able to continue riding. It happened about 15 kilometers into the bush. I carry a full liter of oil. Carry a steel brush in case I have to clean something up, and it has happened. WD-40. Stuff always has to get lubricated, so I carry that. WD-40 also doubles up as a fire starter. You put a match to it, it'll ignite. I carry my owner's manual. There's always something in there. Can't remember everything, so it's good to have the manual with you. I also carry a good amount of duct tape. You never know when you're going to need that. Besides holding things together, if you should cut yourself severely, duct tape closes it up pretty good. In here is my one supply of toilet paper. You always need that. Well, I had occasion, I was down along the North Saskatchewan on a tight trail of the river trail, if you've ever been through the Nesbitt, and I threw a chain. Actually, I'd dropped my chainsaw, bent the bar, buggered the whole thing up, and had to use the winch, tie the back of the Rhino off to a tree, and then use the winch to break a poplar that had come down across the trail so that we could get through. I also carry a good supply of extra fuses. I got fuses in the other kit, but you can't have too many fuses. I don't think anyways. You're going to hear that from me a lot. That you can't have too many of something. Hand wipes. Good supply of hand wipes. Now, you always hear about, pack it in, pack it out. I carry a good supply of garbage bags so that I can pack out anything I take in. As well, I have a good supply of rubber gloves for getting into any grungy work, you know, like working with a CV joint or having to change oil or something like that. I used to carry Gojo, but I find that it's just easier to wear the rubber gloves. I have a braking bar. I also carry the socket for the lug nuts, which is in here someplace. Don't know where it is right now, but I'll get it out. As I said, I do everything that I can to make sure that I can get out of the bush. I have a 4,000-pound winch, and with that winch I can relocate it from the front to the back as I need. But also, if you're in some real serious bog like the clay stuff, sometimes your winch won't get you out, so you got to double it up. With this one I can double it up, hook onto the truck winch as well, and make it a 4,000 pound or 8,000 pound or 12,000 pound. And then I have another one, I can triple it up. You just can't have enough of that. Now, talking about winching, cabling. Your standard winch is only got about 25 feet, maybe 50 feet of cable on it. I carry an extra 150 feet of cable. All trees are not just in the location where you need them. Along with that cable, I also carry extra gloves because the ends on the cable are not that pleasant on your hands and will puncture most gloves, so I carry a couple sets of heavier gloves for working. On the winch, here's another pair of heavy leather ones. And keeping with the theme of getting out, there's another toe strap. I also have another one that's well used. This one, that'll tow out, pull out just about anything. And if you should blow a belt and you're 15-20 kilometers from anybody, it's going to be a long walk. So I carry a spare belt with me. And if you should get into some mud or that fluff that's in the grass and your rad gets plugged up, you're going to need some water, and use this bazooka, and this cleans the rat out really good. It'll get you back. With that bazooka, we've used that to blast the rat out and get home again. Now, caution tape. If you get into an area, I don't use this too much up in the Nesbitt anymore, but when I go up in the mountains in BC, I use it when I start getting into a lot of different trails. It helps me to keep organized just in case my GPS should break. I've had the occasion for the odd GPS to crash and burn on me. So a little bit of caution tape also. If you get stranded, you have to get air rescue. You can set up your SOS with this. I carry a small crowbar like that. and a small hammer, just in case. Also, for putting the oil in, there's this flexible funnel, because my inlet for putting the oil in for the dipstick is quite low down on the engine, and so this gets down in there, and then I can pour the oil in there. There's more TP. I guess we must use a lot of that. Paper towels for cleaning up. I also have some rags here that I use. When I get to the stuff in the underneath my seat, you'll find I have a fairly good selection of plugs for patching the tires. I won't open this up. Well, maybe I will. Something I'm going to get out, in and out. So my pump, 12-volt pump. It'll get things going again if you get a leak or flat. And as I said, I have the good selection of plugs for using on that. I carry a shovel, dig myself out of a few things, dig a fire pit for having a fire, to be safe. Been high centered once or twice, and this helps to get you out. As I said, I carry a chainsaw, and I go through a lot of saw gas to keep the chain sharp. Now, should we have to spend the night, you got to make fire, and I've got so many different ways of getting warm. This stuff in here, if you can see it, is the lint out of my wife's dryer vent. These are matches, and I carry it all in a tin box. I don't know that it's so fireproof, but it makes me feel better that I have it in there. Then I've got a small first aid kit. I'm going to have to improve on that, I think. I also have a bleeder kit. Now, this is part of the stuff if I got to stay overnight. More fire starter, and there's a bunch of stuff in here. There's a whistle and some duct tape and some stuff for starting a fire. There's a compass in there. In here there's a striker and another lighter in there, just in case my matches or something doesn't work or they get wet. Then I've got a single burner propane stove or heater, and I've got all kinds of stuff in there for cooking and drinking and what have you. As well, in the box I have some craft dinner. It's just stuff that won't spoil. Probably has a best before date on it. My wife saw it. It'll be going out probably. Also, should I have to walk out, there's this thing, little first aid kit there. Pack that with me. And this is a walkout survival kit. There's a poncho in here and a reflector for getting attention. And some emergency blanket. Plastic for shelter. And light sticks. More rope for setting up a shelter. And more rope there, and candles. And I also carry a tarp. And underneath my seat in my watertight ammunition box, I carry some rope and some other stuff to help put that small tarp up. It's not a big tarp, it's something like 6 by 8 or 8 by 10 or something like that. 6 by 8. As you can see, I've never opened it up, but I have it just in case I need to make a shelter. I also carry a hat. When you have as little hair as I do, you need to have some protection. Of course, it's a GMC hat. This is for boiling water in, as you can see. Oh, my propane bottle. There's a bottle of propane there. And I said I had the socket for the wheel nuts, it's right there. Another lighter and more patching material, plugs for the tires. I have saw gas and chain oil. Carry an axe. I also carry a hatchet. It's buried in here. And a heavy duty clevis. And I'll just shut this off and go and get the box. Well, maybe I'll just show you. Well, you can see underneath this, my driver's seat, I have booster cables and an ammunition box, which is full of stuff. I'll get into that in a second. I also carry spare hoses, some for the carburetor system, for the fuel system, and heavier ones for the cooling system in case something should happen. I have another hose for the fuel system here. Okay, we'll go back over here and I'll what I should do is show you. You'll see 2 tanks on there. The top one is during the summer I carry water, and the one going up and down here is for gas. I'll just make sure that you can see that. Okay, in here I carry a couple of knives. That's a pretty good knife there. Pair of binoculars. I have a lot of hot shots. A couple more lighters. And some hooks. You can see they've still got the price tags on it. And they have the bit in there so that I can hook it up to just about any rope or cable. Now the reason that I carry so many hot shots is that we drive our Rhinos and our quads all winter. There's only 2 weeks during the winter that we don't ride, and that's the end of March, beginning of April, when the snow is rotten. There's another snatch block, and there's more plastic hose for carburetor or whatever for the fuel system. More hot shots, tire plug kit, tire plug tool, another one, a little bit of rope, knuckle buster, night light or nightstick, bug juice, some wire, more patch kit. This one is for patching the outside of the tire or the inside of the tire. I used to use that with my Zodiac. Got another little scrubber in case I have to clean something up. Bunch more hot shots. And then I got another knife in here. And I guess that's about it. There's a bunch of screwdrivers and pliers in there, but that probably wouldn't interest anybody. I'm going to turn the camera off and take it around and show you the front of my Rhino. Okay, here's the winch, 4,000 pound. As you can see, it's mounted quite a bit higher than your standard winch. The standard winch would be down here where that clevis is, and I use that as a snatch block grabber where I have to go out to a tree, bring it back to the Rhino, and I hook it onto that for pulling it out. Inside you can see my rad protector. You can see the blue connector there. That's so that I can unplug my winch, move it around to the back. I've had to do that 2 or 3 times this year. And up here you'll see my LED lights, and I have HIDs in here somewhere, wherever they are, right there. I'm going to do another video at some point on those LEDs and why I have them. This thing down here riding on the floor is my toolbox. It's pretty grungy, but that's where it rides in through all the mud and crap. And if you look, you'll see the checker plate aluminum on the floor. That's because I've had sticks coming through. I had one come through right in there 2 weeks ago and spear me in the shoulder. If I hadn't been wearing a heavy coat, it would have went right through and I would have been done. Okay, so see this light? It's a magnet on the bottom, plugs into the cigarette lighter or the adapter. You can use it. It has a long cable on it, so you can use it for flat tires or any work that you have to do around the machine. And as I said, you know, getting back is my primary thing. So I carry a adapter for my cell phone, just in case we get cell phone coverage. Like, be a bugger if you got cell phone coverage and you're trying to get help and your battery dies. Whoops. Okay, I'm going to just slide this stuff on the floor. I'll turn the thing off for a sec. Okay, what you're looking at now is a low flow fuel pump that I installed. It does not run all the time. It only runs when I hit the starter. It puts through enough fuel so you don't have to worry about choking. The reason I put that in is these Rhinos that are carbureted are really bad for having vapor lock if you're out riding and it's 25, 28 degrees or Celsius or hotter. You get serious vapor lock and then you're stopped and you have to figure out how to get through it. Did that enough times. So I installed this low flow fuel pump. I know some guys have put on the bigger Makuni pump, but it just doesn't cut it. This by far works way better, and it's great for winter starting as well. Now, onward with ways to get home. You can see this if I back up far enough. This is a tiger tail, and it plugs into the hitch receiver at the back. And if you look at the top of it, you'll see that's where I carry the chainsaw. This tiger tail retracts, as you can see. Now, I'm going to turn this off and put the camera back on the tripod, and I'm going to give you a lecture about this little guy here called Spot. See you in a minute. Now, I take Spot anytime that I go out in the bush, on the trails, on the highway, whether it's in my car for business or traveling, pulling the RV. We always carry Spot. And the reason for that is if you want to get picked up and you want somebody to be able to find you and you always want to be able to communicate, Spot will do it. And here's how it works. This button over here is called the OK button, and you program on their website people that with their cell phone number, you can send them a text says I'm okay. Don's just checking in, he's okay. And also with an email address which will send them a link to Google Earth with the exact location that you sent the Spot from. And in case something happens, they at least have the last location where they can start looking for you. Now, that being said, I send out 3 whenever I go out riding to my wife, well, primarily to my wife, but they go out to other people. And I send one out when we get to where we're going to unload. Send another one out when we stop for lunch, and I send another one when we are loading up to come home. That way my wife doesn't have to worry about what's happening, and gives her a little peace of mind. This one over here is the 911. Should I have a heart attack or somebody has a serious problem, bad injury, or we're just totally screwed and can't get back, and we're 25, 30 kilometers out in the bush or more or less, and there's no possible way to get back, and let's say it's going down to minus 40 or something at night. You push that goes to search and rescue. They know exactly where you are. The whole thing is set up. I think I forget what it cost me per year for this thing, but it's well worth it. I just classify it as insurance. And they can come right to where you're at. I could tell you all kinds of stories, but if you're not interested in looking after yourself, then you're not interested in this. I'm interested in looking after myself and getting home. I'm prepared to help myself as much as I can to get home, and in the off chance that I can't, I'm prepared to spend the night. Within this crap, I've got a fishing line with a hook and some food and water and what have you. So I think that's the end of all my crap, and I hope you found some of it interesting. Bye.